This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Fast Break Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, as always, is Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
And today we are going to be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans and their hot start, the Toronto Raptors possibly being the best team in the Eastern Conference. We're going to be talking about the Jimmy Butler Houston Rocket trade rumors, where the Rockets are supposedly willing to give up 4 first-round picks. And we are also going to start off the podcast, like we always do during the regular season, with our favorite topic and our favorite segment, Wet Boys. So we will jump into another great segment. Before we do that, our segment and podcast, but before we do that, check out iTunes. If you want to help us grow, help us thrive a little bit more, head over to iTunes and give us a review. We greatly appreciate it, and it's going to help us a ton. Tell your family, tell your friends to listen to it, and also you'll tell strangers to listen to it with a great review. So if you want to head over to iTunes and help us out in that way, we would greatly appreciate it. But boys, let's jump into Wet Boys. We're talking about the dampest of dudes, the soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men, guys who popped off, had fantastic weeks, had record-setting days, had great 3/4 of basketball. Let's jump into it, Ricky. Go off with your 3/4 of basketball guy.
Well, I was going to say the first thing was I almost had Trae Young slotted for this. And then
I yelled at you.
You yelled at me. You apologized for it because I defended myself with the second game. But then I forgot that the next day I woke up and was like, oh, Steph went off. And then Steph went off again. So I'm like, well, he didn't go 51 again, but 29 still good for Steph. It's got to be Steph Curry's my Wet Boy.
And that's the thing too about that Steph. Like, you look at all of his games, all of them are over 30 except except 2, and they were both 29. So I mean, he's been phenomenal so far, and kind of telling people, I am a top 3 player in the league. Don't forget about me.
This is one where it's like, hey, I used to be an MVP. I could probably win it again this year. And he's a guy, when he's shooting over 50% from 3, he's dangerous. When he's shooting well above that, he's dangerous. He goes into the gym, he's dangerous. He's the wettest of boys this week.
Fantastic showing from Steph.
I absolutely love having his coach Kerr talk about, what's a good shot anymore? He's posting up from 40 feet out, draining. I'm like, yeah, good shot.
What about the one we watched before the podcast? Sean showed it, where Durant misses. It goes right to Steph.
This is against the Knicks. I think it was yesterday.
That was a great game, by the way.
It was at half court. He fires up a huge-ass 3 with 2:13 left.
Yep.
Hits off the back iron, and then it just bounces to Steph, who's wide open. No one's around him.
Just casually.
One
right
bounce,
back in.
just boom, nothing but net.
Playing pickup. It's a joke. Steph Curry's insane.
It's too easy for them, and it's too easy for Steph. And that performance against the Wizards reminded me of the game against OKC that he had back in 2016, where he gets injured in the third quarter, and they were back and forth against the KD Thunder, and then he hits the game winner, where it's
was
Mike
that
Breen's
in the playoffs?
No, it was.
It was the regular
February.
season. Yeah.
And Mike Breen's I forget who misses the shot, but the Warriors grab the rebound, and they pass it out to Steph, and Mike Breen's they have a timeout left, and then Steph crosses half court, he fires up a 3, drills it, and the place goes crazy.
The reason why I remember that, you and I were playing 2K on the Twitch channel.
We were.
That day. We were.
I was wondering, because I was I was talking to somebody
nice.
on Twitter or something. It was on Twitch, you're right. And that was when my internet, shockingly,
Yep.
wasn't working. But let's go to Dave. Talk about your Wet Boy.
Sure, I'm going with hometown classic here. I'm going Zach LaVine. He is insane. To start the season, he's basically the only ray of sunshine on this Bulls team. We suck at basketball, and we know it. We've also got injuries that are contributing to that. But in the meantime, this is the Zach LaVine that makes that trade for Jimmy Butler just look hilarious in retrospect. Yeah, we get it. He was coming off of an injury. We don't know what kind of player we're going to get. Oh, the Kings want to offer him a ridiculous contract? We'll match it. Why not? Our front office, bunch of freaking geniuses, apparently, because he goes out there and he's dropping 30-plus a night with ease. I know this past time it was only 20, but he also played limited minutes, didn't play the fourth quarter. Could have got there if we wanted to. All I'm saying, he's just exciting. He's that super energetic, incredible jump, super athletic. There's nothing to not love about his game other than his entire lack of defense.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I am, and I'm going to look, if you're on audio.
Who are you talking to?
The Chicago faithful. All Chicago Bulls fans that have watched
We've
our
had some
videos.
arguments about Zach LaVine.
Well, it's not about Zach LaVine per se, But if you're on audio, I'm just talking to you. If you're on video, I'm going to look at you at the camera. I'm not going to look at these guys. On you? Hard zoom. And the reason why is I told you, I know we're early, I told you this was going to happen. I said this season, Zach LaVine, just prove to me that you're going to be the guy that we didn't let go to the Kings, that we matched that offer. But this Bulls team probably still going to be a team that's in the running for a top 10 pick. And everyone's like, oh, we're tanking. No, we're not. This is the Bulls. Zach LaVine will be a ray of sunshine. But this is going to be a team that will probably be a top 10 pick at the end of the year.
Can I just say, we don't have Chris Dunn. We don't have Lauri Markkanen. We now don't have Bobby Portis. But going into this year, on paper, the roster looked like they'd be a 10 seed.
But it's going into, and I don't want to be like the I told you so, but I'm going to be the I told you so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you were.
No, that was it.
That was it. That, but no.
You're paying $80 million for a 124 defensive rating. Ooh, like,
hey,
all right, cool.
No one on our team is that much better.
No, but like, congrats, Zach LaVine. You got 4 straight games of 30 points, 30 plus points.
Like crazy.
He's up there with Bob Love and Michael Jordan. Congrats.
Pretty good company.
You know who would add to our defense? Zion, swatting those balls down.
Okay,
that's my hope.
Here's all I'll say. Is when you look back at 20 years at the first guys who started off the year with 3 straight or 4 straight 30-point performances, it's gonna be like, oh, Bob Love, he's got his jersey in the rafters. Oh, Michael Jordan, yeah, I've heard of him. And then it's gonna be like, who's Zach LaVine?
If he wins a title, if he wins. I said if.
I said
if.
Who's he winning a title with?
I'm not saying this year.
Ricky just escalated.
I didn't say this year. I didn't say this year.
Title with the Bulls.
No, I said if.
Get out of here.
No, I'm not saying
So,
I'm not saying it's a hard no. But
Tell me what you're trying
Ricky,
to say.
I was like, I'm with Ricky. He's reasonable. He's got this shot. Just when he wins a title. What?
No. I didn't say when. I said if. There's always an if. Like,
no, there's not.
We don't know what the Bulls are going to do.
I know they're not
in the
title.
future. I mean, I don't have faith in Garpax, so it's not a if. That's like it's not like a 60%. It's more like a 5%. There's an if.
But that's a lot.
Looking like they made the right move here,
so you're telling me there's a chance. That's what it is.
Wow, Sean, please save us.
In the future,
you were yelling at who is it before the season that Giannis can never be on a title team, and then you're like, oh yeah, Zach LaVine has a 5% chance to win a fucking title.
There's always going to be a Bulls fan in me that we always have a chance to win, but then there's always the realistic part that comes out.
Not a good team.
Yeah, exactly.
He's chucking up 18 shots a game, but he's doing.
Someone needs to.
Yeah, all right. Hey, I'll give him credit. Like he's doing his natural progression of making more of those shots. He's becoming a better 3-point shooter. I think his numbers will go down still, but I mean, I'm not going to say he hasn't been good.
The question now is he in would you put him in the same range as Devin Booker?
No.
Donovan Mitchell.
No. Because he's like what 3 years older than Devin Booker. Devin Booker's still like 18.
No. Devin Booker's not 18.
Devin Booker's got to be like 18.
Devin Booker's 20.
Kid's so young. LaVine's 23, going to be 24 in March, and Devin Booker I think is 22. 22? He's 22. He's 21. 21 going to be 22 on October 30th.
Yeah.
So he's got what 2 years?
Yeah, about a year and a half. Whatever.
No, because he's gonna be 22.
As
about 2 years.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
So not that much older, but insane athleticism versus the sweetest stroke we've seen in a long time. I know. But at the same time, we're talking about trash teams and crazy numbers. Zach LaVine could do better.
All right. We did last week. We did Oakley Folkley on 22.5. You guys going Oakley still?
I'm still Oakley. I told you I was.
Ooh,
I'm good with that, man.
22.5.
Right now he's at 29.8.
We're saying for the Bulls?
No, for Zach LaVine.
For Zach LaVine.
Can he score over 22.5 points per game?
Yeah, I'll go Oakley on that one.
Yeah, we're staying Oakley.
Yeah.
I think I said Folkley.
I thought we were talking like what we did for the Knicks last week with the Bulls win total. So that's where I was
not
confused.
over under. All right, let's go to my wet boy, and it's Blake Griffin. This dude doesn't get respect, and Jake and I were talking about this on Twitter, and it was before the season started, or like after one game. I think it was after we took Blake for our fantasy draft, and we were just talking about how Blake can never be a number one on a team, a number one scorer, and that might be true, but Blake Griffin has had a phenomenal year so far, and it's so good to see him healthy. And over the past 4 games, 36 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. That's better than Steph and Zach LaVine. And he's doing it on a 58 shooting from the field and 64 from 3. And you might be saying, all right, well, he's taking probably a low percentage of threes. The dude is shooting 5 threes. He's attempting 5 threes a game. Yeah. That's insane. Blake Griffin has been phenomenal. He had that 50-point game that was absolutely clutch against the Sixers. Sorry, Jake. He's been phenomenal. Blake Griffin has been fun to watch. He's been an athletic freak. I think we kind of forget about him because he wasn't a number 1 overall pick. He was one of the best college players we've seen since 2000, and just injuries have held him back. He was also a top 3 finish once in MVP voting.
Yeah,
like
he's just
a
continued to develop his game too. Like you remember when he came in the league, he could not shoot from outside of about 6 feet. And now he's out there dropping 5 threes a game. He's taking 5 threes a game.
Well, and that's the one thing, too. You look back, and it was about 2015, 2016. He was at 0.53 attempt per game. Then it went up to 1.9. Then last year it went up to 5.6. And he was shooting 34% from 3 at 5.6.
That's respectable.
Now he's up at 65, which isn't sustainable, but also damn impressive, and he's been fun to watch. I think people forget about
how coach does
how good
out
he
there,
is.
too. Like having a coach in Detroit's pretty nice, right? I bet that they're.
He had Doc Rivers last year.
No.
Well, he was still in the Clippers for a couple games.
When he came over to the Pistons.
It was stand bad.
Yeah. Having a coach helps.
I don't know. I think
we're seeing the coach effect in Milwaukee right now, and potentially in Toronto.
I think this is.
I'm just saying.
Less of the coach, more of a hot start and health.
Using Drummond and he together has been pretty special.
Although Drummond got abused by Embiid.
That was dirty. That was dirty.
But shout out to Blake Griffin. And any final thoughts on the Wet Boys before we go to
Giannis
the fantasy
shout
update?
out of the week just because it's Giannis.
Jokic is mine. The only reason he's not was because that Nuggets game, because once you get stepped over and crossed over like that by Lonzo, although he had a phenomenal game, that Lonzo crossover, I had to take him off.
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be my shout-out.
He had a triple-double, yeah.
I mean, he's won not only the triple-double, but he's a guy that you could put Wet Boy every single week, and people will go, oh, okay, yeah, I can
At
see.
this point, I feel the same way about Giannis. Like,
I feel the same way
just
about Anthony Davis,
untouchable.
too.
Oh, my God, yeah.
He had a bad game shooting
We need
last
more
night, and he
people.
still had like 24 points.
All MVP candidates.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, and Nikola Jokic. You agreed? You agreed?
No,
Jokic!
well, I said out of the 3 that we mentioned, Davis, Giannis, and LeBron.
Disagree. I think Jokic is in there too. Top 3 finish.
I wasn't saying
it's going to
it for
happen.
that.
Defensive player of the year, Jokic. You know
It's going to happen.
We all heard it.
Also, Anthony Davis last night, he had 18 points and then 4 steals and 5 blocks, which is insane.
Yeah.
Dude's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. All right, but let's go to the fantasy update. I fucked up because I didn't take a screenshot of the leaderboard last week, so I don't know who's the biggest riser and biggest faller.
We'll get that next week.
Yeah, I took a screenshot now, so we are good. So let's give a shout out to first place, and that is 2K Mike again, still out there with 102.5 points per game.
Baller.
Yeah, he's got Steph, Zach LaVine, Gordon Hayward, who hasn't been great. Julius Randle, Karras. He's got Harrison Barnes back. He's got Joe. Bobby Portis is out. He also got Schroeder and Boban. So I mean, his team's been good so far, and really the killers are just Steph and Zach LaVine.
Seriously, it's incredible.
So shout out to Big Mike, and then we are currently sitting in 9th at 63 points.
I think I know out of the change that it has there, maybe that's day to day. We lost the most points.
Yeah.
From yesterday to today, and I'm looking at our standings and I'm going, how do we rise a little bit? That's what I'm thinking.
Let's look at it. So we're right now 6th. Sorry, we are, is it 6? 1, 2,
low
3,
number,
4,
low numbers
5,
are bad.
6, 7, 8. We're 8th right now in field goal made. We are 3rd in a field goal percentage. We are near the bottom, second to last in free throw percentage, which is mostly probably due to Drummond because he can't shoot free throws.
He's not been that bad this year.
Still, that's the guy I'm going to go and blame to right away. 3 points made, we're like middle of the pack right now. 3-point percentage, we are 5th, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Rebounds, shockingly, we are pretty damn low in the middle of the pack with Blake and Drummond, which I'm really shocked by. And I'll go to the official season and try to get all those stats. Assists, we have taken a dip, and I do want to apologize. I did have Trae Young on the 30 game. He gave me 35 points. He was on our bench.
That was the whole reason we drafted him. There will be more.
I didn't update it. It was my bad.
There will be more.
It was
It's okay. There will be more performances.
Assists were in the middle of the pack though. Steals near the bottom. Blocks we rose a little bit. That's due to Zach Collins. And then and points were in the middle. So, I mean, really the biggest thing is just we need more of everything.
So, I've got 2 guys I'm going to throw out here. I'm looking at free throws. Yes. Yeah. Free throw percentage. We're not terrible. If you look at it, we're at about 71. And
we can rise
between
for sure.
us to Kawhi So Serious, who's like 5, he's at 78%. So, we just need a little bit of help. Here's what I'm saying. I think that we can drop Brogdon could be one of them. You can pick whoever else. I'm looking at 2 players this week. One name I'm going to screw up. You're going to have to help me. The first one I'm not going to screw up. Lance Stevenson. He can help us in the free throw percentage because he's shooting 80 from the line, and he's getting steals, which we kind of need to rise on as well.
But do you see him not getting as much playing time because the suspension's coming up?
But the only thing is when he does play,
Lonzo is starting.
Well, it's just when he's out there, he's going to go to the line. His free throw percentage, that'll boost us.
Here's the thing, though, with Lance. He's only going to the line. He's taking one foul shot a game.
Yeah, but it's
that's
just
not a lot.
It's just percentage. And if he's shooting 80%.
No, but it's you still have to say, like, if he goes 1 for 1, it's just one free throw.
Doesn't help when Drummond goes 4 of 8.
So they take all of the stats. So, like, if Drummond goes 6 of 12 and Lance goes 1 of 1,
in
then
my
it's
mind,
7 of 13.
Still a positive. And how are we going to? The other one I'm looking at is, and this is the name I'm going to screw up, is Nemanja Bjelica.
Not even close.
No, I'm not even close
But
at all.
just you can refer to him as Bjelly.
Bjelly. Like, he's another guy that is his free throw percentage is up there, and we can play him at either the 4 or the 3 in our
He's
fantasy
actually
roster.
playing like fire. Like, low-key, the Kings have not been the Kings as of late. Like, De'Aaron Fox is something special. He's not getting a wet boy yet, but he definitely special. But Bjelly out there is doing a great job and dropping shots from the outside like crazy. They still don't have Bogdan back, so we'll wait and see. But in the meantime, I think he's a great pickup. I think Ricky's right on that call.
He's only owned in 9% of leagues, and he's rose 3%.
Well, and out of all of his games, too, only one was in single digits. That was 4 points, and that was the only game he had less than 12 minutes. When he's over 20 minutes a game, he's getting double digits in points. Back-to-back double-doubles. He had 26 and 12. Last game, he had 11 and 11 last night, and he also has steals and blocks. So that one I don't mind. Definitely not Lance, though.
No.
Lance is a bad pickup, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I think Lance, we just don't know. That team is so volatile. Like, one guy could be up this week, and then the next week could be somebody else. Like, there's no static guy on the Lakers who's going to do anything outside of LeBron James.
Also, how many steals does Lance have?
On here, I'd have to go back to Lance. I was looking at Justin Holiday.
The thing that I'm bringing up with Brogdon, you said drop Brogdon. I mean, Brogdon's been our best free throw shooter. He hasn't missed one yet all season. He has 0.8 steals.
I'm sorry, it's
per game.
Bjelly that has the better steal. Lance is at 0.8. Bjelly's at 1.2.
Okay, so
it's Bjelly that'd be
again,
better.
looking at Brogdon versus Stevenson, that's the guy who you want to drop.
I mean,
Brogdon's better than Stevenson. So
I was just looking at guys that just the eye test.
Is there somebody you would drop for?
Right now, free throw wise, the worst is Josh Jackson. He's at 40%. Russ is at 50, but he's only played like 2 games. I think he's played 2 games.
What about James Johnson?
James Johnson's out. So,
yeah, I know. He hasn't been doing anything for us, so why not?
We could drop him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why not drop him because he hasn't hurt us or helped us?
I think it's Valencia. I don't know what.
I'm just saying what Dave said. Bjelly.
Yeah, I think we can probably drop James Johnson and pick up Nemanja. We got to learn his name if he's gonna be on our team. So that'll be the one move.
Kings fans are already upset with us.
I don't think they even know how to pronounce his name. Come on, it's been like 4 games. Dave, any waiver wire lookups?
Looking over the shoulder, because I've still been too lazy to log in this league. So that's why
I gave you the login.
I know. I can't hate on you though because of not checking because I have not actually logged in.
I was checking. I just didn't make the one move.
We need free throw percentage. Like, how long is IT out for?
Who?
How long is IT out for?
I'm not sure.
Like,
really
we haven't heard anything timetable.
There's still
return.
no timetable.
Yeah, so never mind. I was like, he's the guy who, like, when timetable lines up, he gets the line and he shoots at an incredible rate. So, like, if you got room to stash, I'd say stash IT.
We really don't, though.
I know. That's
unless we want to just drop
stashing DeMarcus.
Unless we want to drop Josh Jackson.
Which?
I mean,
how has he been doing?
8.3 points per game, 0.8 blocks, 0.3 steals, 2.5 assists, 1.8 rebounds, 1.3 threes. He hasn't been great.
No.
We could get a different place. He is going to be starting against the Grizzlies tonight because of Devin Booker having a hamstring injury, but that's about it.
So we can let him play. But yeah, no, I would say that's the one guy I'm like, if you got room on your bench, not a terrible pick. Outside of that.
What about Danny Green over...
Danny Green?
Yeah, Danny Green.
Really?
Danny Green
he's
over...
coming back?
Danny Green?
No, not coming back. Like, I mean, like, he's not... I know he's playing better this year than he was in the past.
I mean, outside of the... I mean, looking at all of his games, he's had 1 game with less than... Or he's had 2 games with less than 3 points made. He's averaging about 5 boards a game. He has had 2 or more assists in 3 games. He's had a steal pretty much every single game and a block every single game.
Let's just do it now. Sorry, you're not going to get him.
All right. Who are we dropping then?
If they're not
he already dropped James Johnson.
Well, he did it.
No, do you want to drop Josh Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Danny.
Hi,
Bye, Josh.
Hi, Danny.
There we go. All right.
Yep.
So those are the moves. Because Brogdon, I mean, he's been efficient. I mean, I understand he's not like dropping like 20 a game, but he's also been massively efficient.
Have you also paid attention to last week's pickup in Zach Collins?
Yeah, Zach Collins has been
helped
pretty damn good.
Okay.
Zach Collins, in the games we've had him, he's helped us out with blocks. Last game, he had 17 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block.
Good
That's exactly what we needed him for.
Yeah, we had, and then the game before he had 7 points, 5 boards, 2 blocks, and then the game before that he had 2 threes made, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and 11 points. So I mean, he's been decent. We could definitely upgrade there, but so far I think for what we needed, he's been good.
Okay,
right.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Any final thoughts?
No. I mean, I am excited to see. I want to see for free throws if we go up, and I'm
pretty sure Danny Green, like historically, is a pretty decent free throw shooter.
Because I was talking about this with Brandon this week. With me and this fantasy team, I'm like that NFL owner where it's like, Sean, you're the GM, you're the president of basketball operations, you're going to do what's right, but if we're not winning, then I'm going to get involved to see what's going on here.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more of just the coach because all I do is set lineups.
Danny Green's only taken 5 free throws. He's hit every one of them. So there's that.
So there you go. If he's better than Lance Stevenson, that's all it comes down to.
Yep.
We're not picking up any Lakers.
Okay.
Fuck the Lakers. The only Laker I'll pick up is LeBron. And weirdly, Lonzo Ball.
We got Rondo.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
How many points did we get for a spit?
0.
Although it wasn't really,
because technically it didn't land.
Real spit.
And didn't happen.
Anyways, that is the Fast Break Fantasy Update. That was a very long segment. So
we got Wet Boys and Fantasy Break. Wow.
It's a good time. All right, let us know if you like this or not. And we could totally cut it, and we could just talk about this off camera.